No, totally. I think people beat themselves up too much, or they think it's an insult on their intelligence if they lose a trade or they have a losing streak, right?
Hey, it's Walter here, and you're at the Think Profit podcast, where we're going to help you develop a rock solid trading confidence and avoid the potentially endless cycle of system switching. Right, Hugh?
That's right. We're going to help you develop a wealth mindset, develop a trading strategy that fits your core personality, and help you overcome the obstacles that stop over 90% of traders.
All right, Hugh, sounds good. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do this.
Hey, Hugh. So in this episode, we want to talk about greed. And as traders, sometimes we have this problem of trying to overcome the need to win and this feeling of greed and trying to really take as much as we can out of the market. So how do we overcome that?
I think it comes down to practice. Like, what did your backtesting tell you? What has your demo trading told you? You know, you trading your small account. There's a certain line, obviously, right, that you have to tightrope walk across. Like, there's being aggressive and making profits when they're available, and then there's being safe and not taking undue risk. So I think it just comes down to, what does your testing tell you? What does a certain extent, what does your gut tell you? And being able to discern which is which. And I think a lot of people get too greedy in the beginning because they think they know how trading works, and they don't really. But once you've been through a few boom and bust cycles or whatever, and you can kind of tell when it's a good time to be greedy and when it's a good time to lay back and just kind of play it safe. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, I think that I feel like we don't have, this might be kind of weird, but I feel like we kind of don't have a say in it as traders. I feel like we kind of have to just let the market decide when, the big winners are going to come.
Mm.
And it's almost like a letting go thing, sort of like you're sailing. Today's not going to be a windy day, so you're not going to go very far, right? Like there's nothing you can do about it. You can put your biggest sail up, I guess, but that's all you can do really, and just kind of drift along. And I feel like part of my growth as a person, as a trader, has been learning that I need to just focus on what I can, which is the rules of the strategy. So whatever strategy I'm using, I execute those entries and those exits exactly as I should, exactly as I've back tested, and I don't deviate from that. And that's why I record all of that data in my journal. However, there are times when you're going to do everything perfect. And the last couple of weeks have been really rough for me, like in terms of win rate. And I have to examine that and go, well, what, it's not that I want to change what I'm doing. No. I just want to make sure that my exits and my entries have been where they should be, right? Is that what's going on? I mean, you've probably seen this, like when you're at your best, when everything's rolling and everything's clicking and you're making lots of great trades and all that, the markets are really, you're really locked in with the markets and you're doing well. Those periods are often when you're really ripe for making mistakes, right? It kind of sows the seeds for greed or mistakes or whatever in the near future. So to me, that has to be part of the awareness too, is like, how am I feeling today in terms of my trading prowess? Where am I at on a scale of 1 to 10? You can go back and look at that too in your journal. You can see, do you tend to make mistakes when you've had a winning streak and you're feeling really confident and your number's really high? Or do you tend to not take trades when your confidence is really low? Do you tend to just let trades go that you should have taken, but you didn't because you were a 3 instead of an 8 or whatever, because you've had 6 losers in a row? So that's the kind of thing that I think we can see, like the data is there. And I do believe part of it is just letting go and just going, look, because you just never know. If you're a trend follower, you just don't know. You do not know when that trade is going to come, that 20R or 15R trade is going to come and make all the difference for your year. You just don't know when it's going to be. Like for me, those trades happened back in February, March, like the best months of the year so far. They were February, March. That's when the markets were trending and I was all in, right? And so that was great. But now it's kind of, there's a lot of drifting around and reversals and stuff. And Asia goes one way, then London goes one way, then New York goes the other. It's just kind of whipping around. And it's kind of difficult unless you're trading the perfect time frames for those setups. So yeah. So I guess in essence, I would just say record your emotions because they can impact your execution, right?
Mhm.
And also maybe think about trying to figure out ways that you can relax and just let go and know that it's not really entirely under your control. It's part of trading is just learning to be that person that says, okay, well, this is what the market's going to give me now, right?
Yeah.
And my system, I'm doing it. I'm executing. So, I know the system works. It's just the system needs certain market conditions to work well, right? So
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah.
No, totally. I think people beat themselves up too much, or they think it's an insult on their intelligence if they lose a trade or they have a losing streak, right? And like you said, it's just
Yeah, they take it personally.
whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's totally. And it's funny. Like I used to do that. I used to get mad at currency pairs.
Same here.
That Swissy, that loony. Want to get revenge or whatever. Like what? Like that. I don't even think about. I honestly don't even think about that. I really don't. I really do not think of them as adversaries or whatever. I think of it more as myself as the one that I need to deal with. It's not the loony or whatever, or the Swissy or the pound or whatever. Yeah, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Walter.
See ya.
All information in this podcast is for educational and informational purposes only and is not trading or investment advice.